Welcome to our demo of a feature we're currently calling Backstage. So the feature started out because people wanted more interaction with the command prompt. We've always had this kind of commands tab, which is super neat, and it will still have relevance in our new stuff. Mainly because you can select multiple machines and run commands against them. And it's just generally very accessible and useful. But it sends the command kind of as a batch and then receives it in a batch. It doesn't give you like tab completion and stuff like that. So people want a way to have a fully interactive shell without the user's outside of the user's purview. So of course you could do it within the user's purview through just the conventional launching command prompts. But we've overloaded a feature that we've had for a long time, which is log-on session switching. And we consider this a new log-on session, and it's called Backstage. So when I click this, it will restart, kind of spawn a new session, and you'll see the new session. By default, we launch a PowerShell and a CMD window, and this is actually configurable, like what gets started by default, but these are the two we start by default. Kind of just to give you some history, when we started this, we really just, actually we were going to provide CMD and PowerShell as distinct options as sessions, but then we figured, well, what else could we do in this session? And that's when things started to get super cool. So you have your windows here, you can spawn new windows, you can do anything here, but this is a Windows session, you can run anything, and this is what can leverage another feature of our product, which has existed almost forever, which is the toolbox. So you can't run actually Explorer here, and web browsers don't render great, and there's some other quirks, but there's plenty of things that run just fine. So the toolbox is a way to run stuff on another machine. So we're gonna add something to the toolbox first. So here's our little toolbox thing. I'm gonna drag a program we've found called Explorer++. It's a free program. It's a single exe. You download it, you put it in your toolbox, and within 10 seconds you're in business. So we see here we'll run our toolbox. It transferred that exe to the other machine and ran it. And now you have a more graphical view of the file system, which I myself prefer command line in most cases, but you're going to get drag and drop file transfer and cut and paste. I'm going to cut and paste something from somewhere else on my desktop and paste it in here, and you see it pasted right in there. I can do the same thing with drag and drop. The drag and drop actually looks kind of funny because of the rendering engine. We're looking at I don't know if you saw a black window came on top of everything, but just don't pay attention to that. It works normally. There's just some quirks with you see the way we render things. It looks kind of old. I mean, we've actually gone down to the pixel level and tried to recreate a Windows 95 type experience. I'm just kidding. We just have, we're using a very old kind of method of rendering that's been in Windows for a very long time, but it gives us most of what we want, and it'll let us get this feature out to y'all real quick. So what I did, I've shown you switching back and forth between, and it's actually a little more laggy than most of our stuff, but you'll see within about a second or two, it'll switch back and forth between your different things. But what we did is we launched this session, which showed the user this banner and showed you that you're controlling their thing. And a lot of people just don't want the user to see anything or have any awareness of this happening. So what I didn't show you is actually what I'm about to show you is launching straight from the web. So either from the More menu, you can join with options, or you can right-click Join with Options, or I think you can actually Shift double click, I don't know. But here you can join with options. And when you join with options, we enumerate the sessions and give you the ability to join Backstage directly. Also, we give you the ability to suspend my input, which was weirdly accessible before, and now it's just a little bit more obvious how to make that happen. But you'll see we clicked that stuff, and now we're joined directly into this session without the user being aware that we're on their machine at all. So I hope that's kind of answered a lot of your questions. We'd love to hear about kind of other usage scenarios. We think we've made it like super flexible to do something that we're not aware that any other product at least makes it this easy to do. And we're hoping that maybe some users can even kind of provide additional neat things and additional ways to leverage this for the rest of the people in the community. Thanks for your time.